Well, today's video we're going to be comparing this Zorro branded lighter. These are produced over in China, very widely available in Europe, and you can see here it is a Zippo copy. We're going to compare that directly to two Zippos. First off, I have a 2012 white matte Zippo here, all right, and more comparable would be this 1935 replica, which happened to be also produced in 2012, just because it has an outside hinge, which is similar to the Zorro model. Okay, now this came from a viewer in France with a wonderful letter, which basically just says that, you know, he wanted to thank me for my Zippo trick videos. He got into the hobby, and he saw or remembered in one of my videos I was complaining that instead of Zippo making thicker cases to make stronger, quote, stronger lighters, they really should have a thicker or bigger hinge. And he came across this Zorro lighter and wanted to send it to me because he showed, you know, a couple different bullet points here on the letter as to why, you know, it has a better design than a genuine Zippo. So we're going to go through those bullet points real quick and talk about that a little bit. So the first thing that he mentions here is that it has a two-sided hinge that's soldered both on the inside and the outside, it says. So let's take a look at this Zorro lighter up close a little bit. You can see it does have the outside hinge compared to the Zippo. This one's obviously more squared off. That's just a rounded design. This has the 3-barrel hinge. Of course, this has a 5-barrel hinge, more closely related to a modern Zippo. It's just much wider and bigger. Okay, so when we open this up, you can see it's very similar to a regular Zippo. See Zorro on the insert, same or similar warning. Okay, the website, which I don't know if that's working right now or not, but Zorro 200 or 2003, 2008, I don't know, something like that, 2008.com. So anyway, so there's the insert, right? But what he's talking about is the hinge is not only spot welded on the outside, but it's on the inside as well. Okay, and it might be hard. Let me zoom in here. It might be a little bit better to pick up on the inside there. And no, it's not. Maybe it's because that's reflecting the background. Yeah, that's why. Okay, so you can see there's actually 4 points of contact. The hinge is on the inside as well as on the outside in both the lid and the case. Okay, makes for a very sturdy hinge. There's no or very little wobble in this compared to a real Zippo. Okay, very interesting. Okay, let's back up the camera here for a second. Let's get the real Zippo here. Again, show you comparison. Leave those there. All right, so here is the hinges. You can see on the real Zippo that hinge comes all the way down. Okay. Whereas on the Zorro, it's up on, I don't know, a little bit past the 45-degree angle. Let's compare that to the other Zippo here. Put that off to the side. So you can see on the replica, it's all the way down. On the standard Zippo, it is up in the air a little bit here, but compared to the Zorro, it's still a lower angle. All right, so here's a close-up of all three cases. The Zorro is in front, the standard Zippo, and then the Zippo replica. Now again, with the Zorro, we have an inside attachment point on the bottom and the top. On the standard Zippo, we have an inside attachment on the bottom and the top as well. And on the throwback or replica, you can see because it's an outside hinge, it is not connected on the inside whatsoever. Okay, even the tab on top here, which uses, or, you know, opens the and closes the cam spring. That's what keeps your, you know, lid either open or closed. That is actually cut off and is not part of the hinge. Very interesting. So when we close all these, again, the hinge on the standard Zippo is only connected on the inside. The hinge on the real Zippo replica is only connected on the outside, whereas the Zorro is connected both on the inside and the outside. Very interesting. All right, so let's take a look at another one of these bullet points. The hinge is made of brass instead of aluminum. All right, so the hinge on the Zippos is an aluminum hinge. All right, and he's saying that this is brass, and I honestly can't tell. It's you know, has the same coating or finish as the case. I really have no way of telling that that is brass just from this video with what I have in front of me. So I'll have to take his word for it, perhaps. The next bullet point here says it has more powerful wheel, which generates more sparks. All right, so let's check that out. Okay, standard Zippo insert, and here's a Zorro insert, as you can see here. Now, as far as the wheel patterns are slightly different. So we have a crisscross, and we have more of a grid on the left on the Zorro there. Okay, as far as the spark production, here's a regular Zippo. We're all pretty used to that. Fairly easy to turn this wheel, even though I have a new flint in there. Okay, the Zorro, a little bit harder to turn. Let's do these side by side. It does appear to be throwing a little bit brighter, perhaps some more sparks. Yeah, well, this one happens to have a little fluid in it too. So maybe that's cheating. But it does seem to throw just a little bit better. So there might be something in that that wheel pattern that does happen to be a little bit more effective. So I'll say, all right, possibly a better wheel design. All right, so let's continue here. The next bullet point is the wheel is removable. You can replace it. And in fact, places like Alien Express, they do sell like an extra pack of wheels. Okay, so let's look at the standard Zippo here, both standard Zippo inserts. And we can see the rivet on this one. On this one, it is the back of the rivet. Okay, two different designs. You can see the front here is more of a pin. And then on here, it's a hole all the way through. But they're both non-removable. Okay, very important to note. We all know that when there's a problem with the wheel, because the wheel does wear out, but I mean, it takes years for it to wear out. It's not something you're replacing like you are wicks and flints. But yeah, some people have some old ones. Maybe they want to use them for whatever reason. Maybe it's their grandfathers or fathers or something. The wheel's a little worn out. Nothing you do about that unless you want to send it off to Zippo to replace it. However, on the Zorro, you see the back is a pin. When we flip this over, you could see it is removable. If you slid out this little disc here, I forget what style that's called. There's a name for that. Just can't think of it right now. But if you slid it out, that clip holds in the back of the pin, and you can remove that wheel and replace it. That is super cool. I would love to see this design on a real Zippo. Okay, very, very valid point. It is a better design in having a removable wheel. So, flip our note over, see what else we got here. It says the cam spring is less thick compared to ordinary Zippos. It's therefore easier to open the lid. All right, so let's do a comparison here. Make sure there's our Zorro, but you can see our Zorro character on the front. So, not easily mistaken here. He's talking about the cam spring is lighter on the Zorro compared to a regular Zippo. All right, so first we got the standard. Okay, very easy to open because we're used to it, right? But let's try the shake test. Now, if I really whip this, probably get it to open a little bit. This one's a little stiff because I do tricks with it. There we go. Let's try the replica. Okay. Even though it has an outside hinge, still feels a little similar. You can hear it opening and shutting, but it's pretty strong. A spring. This cam spring here is what prevents your lighter from open, and also it's what prevents your lid from opening when you don't want it to. Okay. Now, on this one, it is noticeably lighter. Okay, it's easier to open that, and also you can flip it open very easily. So he's absolutely right. It is easier to open. I'll leave that up to you guys, whether you think that's a pro or a con. So that's kind of a personal preference. The last thing he says is the inner hinge of the bottom case prevents the insert from popping out. What he's talking about is, again, on the Zorro here, because this is connected on the inside bottom, it prevents it from falling out. You know, it's arguable. I mean, on a standard Zippo, it also has a contact point on the inside. There's a little plate there that, you know, the hinge attaches to. So I don't see a huge benefit there. Let's check it out, see how easy it is to pull out. 2 fingers here, a little bit of friction there. Okay, it is not going to fall out very easily. All right, let's try. Regular Zippo does actually come out a lot easier. Again, this one happened to be used a lot for tricks, but I can definitely tell there's much easier to pull that out. Let's try the throwback here. It's a little bit tighter, but still I agree. It's a little bit easier to pull these out of the case than the Zorro. It's a little tighter. Okay, so yeah, there's definitely a couple different features on this Zorro that surpasses a genuine Zippo. Now the question is, well, you know, is it better than a Zippo? The features are better. What's not better is customer service and guarantee or warranty. Okay, if this breaks, we get a contact. I don't know, couldn't tell you. If one of these breaks, they will always be fixed, no matter what, no questions asked. We've been over that a dozen times on the channel in the past. I've actually shot Zippos, shot with a gun, a hole right through it. Send it back, say, guess what, shot my Zippo. You know what they said? No problem, here's another one. You're not gonna get that kind of customer service with Zorro. However, for a daily user, let's say you're collecting Zippos, but you know, you wanna use one, some of these extra features are actually really beneficial. I would love if someone from Zippo saw this video and saw the potential for improvements. It's such a simple thing, I don't think, because I've pitched ideas to Zippo before, like, hey, you know, if you like, you know, incorporate an O-ring into your insert here, you know, you won't lose fluid and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Although these ideas are there and they appreciate these ideas and they like them, it just changes what it is. You know what I mean? As far as their production, you know, it is what it is. And although they appreciate, you know, different kinds of suggestions to improve it, and there's definitely ways to improve it, it's no longer a Zippo, a traditional standard Zippo. So we all know what the deal is. We all know its pros and its cons, its drawbacks. The biggest drawback to, you know, any style of lighter like this is the fact that it doesn't hold fuel all that long, just because it's not airtight. So the fuel vapors, you know, slowly leak out of the cracks here. You know, just generally speaking, I want to, you know, give a huge thank you to this viewer, again, over from France. All right, guys, so there's a difference between the Zorro model Zippo copies compared to a real Zippo. There are some definite benefits here. The hinge is a big deal. This hinge will last longer, which is great, but again, you know, if this breaks off, you can get it replaced for free anytime you want, anywhere around the world. You ship them off and that's it. They'll ship them back to you. If they can't fix it, they'll give you a new one. So I definitely see the benefits in this, and I like the different features. The Zorro is actually a better performing Zippo type lighter. However, you're not getting that warranty with it. So if you're a Zippo collector, highly recommend adding it to your collection. If you are a Zippo trick person, if you love doing Zippo tricks, I highly, highly recommend getting one of these simply because of the beefed up hinge. The 4 points of contact make a big difference, and when you're doing Zippo tricks, we all know that it wears out that hinge quite easily and quickly. So for tricks, definitely worth it. These are about 10 bucks on Alien Express. There's one for 28, which is way more embellished, that's on Amazon right now. Other than that, I'm sure it's a lot easier to find them over in Europe. As far as here in the US, you're pretty much stuck to, you know, the internet as far as getting these things. But yeah, pretty damn cool. So thank you again from the viewer in France. Really appreciate that. Very interesting lighter. If you guys have these, post your comments down below. I'd love to hear about it. They are available in all different colors and stuff, so pretty interesting. So that's all. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon.